Ooh, welcome back to another episode of All Things Everything presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Chance V.
All right. Hey, real quick, I wanted to let everybody know Sabrina's not going to be in this episode for the very first time in 37 episodes. No Sabrina, but we just kind of felt like we wanted to have a conversation, me and my boy Chance V. So for anybody that doesn't know Chance V, I'm going to let him introduce himself real quick. Just give everybody a rundown, not necessarily of who you are as a person, but who you are to me and GCS.
Self-proclaimed right-hand man.
Yeah.
I remember from the beginning, just being in the backyard, cooking, enjoying the food.
Yeah.
Just trying to be there.
Yeah.
Trying to make myself as helpful as possible.
Yeah.
Supportive.
For sure.
And just enjoying it.
Yeah. And that's exactly why we wanted you to come on, right? So I've had so many people ask us, hey, get your dad on because he's seen GCS from day one to day whatever this is, right?
Right.
And there's very few people that have actually seen that progression from day one to where we are now. And you're actually one of them. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to bring somebody in because it's like you've seen the highs, you've seen the lows, you've seen where we started, you kind of know where we want to go. Right. So we just felt like it was going to be perfect for you to be on. So right-hand man, absolutely, 100%. There's been so many times that we've popped up in front of stores, served food to a lot of people, had a blast, and it's just, like you said, I remember cooking in the front yard, making beef ribs, making tomahawk steaks, slapping fajitas on the grill, just having a good time, and that's really what GCS at its core truly is.
Definitely.
Now, it's grown into a business, right? It's grown into something that we do take a little more seriously. But man, when the cameras are off and we're shooting the shit in the backyard,
boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. We're gonna be who we are. But again, at its core, it's a way for us to get together. Right. It's a way for us to hopefully cook really good food, serve it to people that we care about, and serve it to new people we've never met, and just introduce them to. I always tell people, Southern hospitality is not only a seasoning, it's kind of our mantra.
Right.
It's what we're about. We want you to feel like, hey, I'm part of this. I'm hanging out with these guys. All we're doing is hanging out, maybe having a few drinks, enjoying the food, and enjoying the vibes. So, again, what I really want to start the episode off with is you have been there from the beginning.
Right.
So, in the very beginning of this journey of Gulf Coast Smoke, what did you feel like it was then? And then what do you feel like it is now? And the progression, talk as much as you want about it. How has this all progressed in your eyes from your point of view?
Right. Man, it's kind of tough, loaded question in the way that it's, in my eyes at least, it's a lot of it's still kind of the same. I'm still over at your house quite a bit, doing cooks in the backyard. Mm-hmm. Maybe trying new recipes of yours and Sabrina's and things like that. So in that aspect, a lot of things have stayed the same. It still is, in my mind, very enjoyable to be a part of. But from, I guess, the business standpoint, from just being in the backyard to you guys developing Southern hospitality to what it is now with Trifecta being released recently, it's been crazy. And I think you would probably agree if you would ask yourself, 3 years ago, will you be in shelves from South Texas to New York? Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing, man. And it's just a testament to the hard work. Yeah. And it's been a lot of fun. I mean, what can I say? I mean, the competitions, the pop-ups, we've been San Antonio, we've been in the pouring down rain, it's not always fun. Yeah. It is fun, but it's not always, the most ideal situations, of course, right? But sometimes it's hot.
It's way too hot.
Way too hot. And I know, competitions this time of year, a lot of folks flee.
We are.
Maybe go to Australia. Maybe they don't go anywhere. Maybe, you know what I mean, we're going to North Dakota or whatever. Yeah. We're not cooking in South Texas. It's a 120 index, you know, roughly on a day-to-day. But it's been a lot of fun, man. And if you would ask me, I don't think I would have said 3 years ago I was surprised to see where things are at now. Yeah. But to watch it unfold in what seems to be a pretty quick amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, relatively speaking, I think that's been really cool to see for sure.
Yeah. So you brought up a few things that I think are really cool that I think people should know about you, right? So you brought up Australia. You brought up North Dakota. So, like, you know and you follow what goes on in the barbecue world now.
For sure.
You did before, but now that I'm involved, you've met a lot of people that I've met through barbecue. Bill, Phil, Raul,
Right.
Rini, Zach. A lot of these people that whenever I go to competitions, they're there. We flock together.
Right.
And so I want you guys to understand that Chance really does actually, he understands pretty well what's going on in the competition scene, because when I'm competing, he's either with me or, hey, how'd you do? I'm sending him my turn-in boxes before I actually post them to Facebook. Right. So he sees them first, and then they'll go to Facebook. Oh, dude, that looks fire. Oh, I think you're going to hit on ribs today. He's had all of my food enough to where I feel like he knows, like, that brisket looks banging. Like, whenever we were in Refugio, we ended up winning, right? And I just kind of feel like you knew we had it that day.
Right.
You knew, like, everything you tasted, you're like, dude, chicken was on point, ribs are on point, brisket's on point. Like, I feel like you knew we had a shot because you've started to understand competition barbecue from the beginning when we thought my barbecue was amazing, which granted, I think it was. I think it was good barbecue.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's like, from the outside looking in, if you're not familiar with competition barbecue, and by all means, you know, I've turned in beans once.
Yeah.
Hey, 9th place, first try, just throwing that out there.
Out of 37?
37 or some teams like
Something,
that. That was
not bad.
Orange Grove. But people don't probably realize, I know you've discussed this on the pod before multiple times, but man, the difference between backyard and competition. So what may look good to a backyard cook may not look good to a comp cook.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the game. So,
for sure.
But yeah, man, the first couple comps, I remember specifically being in Ingleside.
Yeah.
Also hot as hell that day, but
we sat on our ass.
Exactly. And then, you know, fast forward a year, maybe, I don't even know. I don't think you really competed consistently that year at all. But once you did, and you started to tweak your game a little bit, learn some things, and started getting calls. So
yeah. And another thing that I wanted to bring up that you kind of mentioned was the feel is the same.
Right.
So GCS, at least from my eyes, from day one to now, yeah, there's in between, there's stuff, for example, that Sabrina and I do now that we didn't before. Like, you know, we're here sending invoices at nighttime, and we're sending emails, and we're trying to look for prospects out there, and we're trying to build an ambassador team. And
Absolutely.
Man, we're just doing so many different things. But like you said, at its core, I don't think really anything has changed.
No. I mean, it's kind of like when this all first started and we were in the front yard, the backyard, in the garage, you know, watching the game, cooking whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
We still
do exactly.
You know, we're still having the same conversations at these competitions. You know, there's music playing. We're hanging out. At the end of the day, that's really, you know, what we're doing. I know you and Brina are focused on doing what y'all need to do, but
yeah,
it doesn't feel that much different.
No, it doesn't. And I feel exactly the same way. I truly do. Because, like, for example, when you, Travis, Zach, Gus, whoever comes over, man, yeah, there's definitely times where we turn on the camera and we got to do what we got to do. But, man, in between that, we're just literally boys being boys, like friends being friends, talking about, you know, how things are going, good, bad, indifferent, whatever.
Right.
And that's just truly what it is. And even Danielle, who's your girlfriend, man, she's actually super involved and been an amazing supporter of what we're doing for a really long time. So it's important for us to have these people surrounding us that have supported us for such a long time, which is another reason why we wanted to have Chance on the episode today. So that being said, when we talk about support and when we talk about you being around, and you mentioned right-hand man, and we talk about it all the time. Me and you have had so many conversations where, again, it starts in the backyard.
Right.
We cook some good food, but, man, we end up sitting out there and we're talking about where we want to go. And you're involved in those conversations. And, again, a lot of the times I don't want to think about it from a business standpoint, but kind of have to. You have to at some point.
At this point, it seems like.
You have to.
Right.
And you have to dream big, I think.
For
and
sure.
I think that that's the thing. You know that very well. I've talked about it a lot on the podcast and in general. Man, I'm a cheesy person, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, man, I believe this is what we're gonna do.
It's a glass half full
for sure
kind of attitude. You know what I mean?
Because I understand where we're at, and I think that while we're doing good, of course the numbers are not. There's no millions there. It's tens of thousands, subscribers and views and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with the progress that we're making and that we're going to continue to make. And one of the things I also just wanted to bring up for anybody that's out there, man, for me, one of the hardest things when it comes to having GCS and wanting to do something is realizing that you can't do it all.
Right.
Like I'm talking about me, right? So in the very beginning, I was filming by myself. Right. We've talked about this before. I was filming by myself. I was editing by myself. I was creating shorts by myself. I was doing all these things by myself. It wasn't until I realized, first, I need my wife.
Right.
I need Sabrina.
Definitely.
Sabrina's got to help me. And then I'm doing pop-ups, and I'm struggling. I'm like, dude, this is too much. Chance V, what are you doing? Can you come help? Yes. Then they started getting better because we've talked about it before. I can focus on doing what I do, which is cook, hopefully some really good food. Man, you're out there, you're slanging meats, talking about the seasonings. You know our seasonings just as well as I do. And that's, well, maybe not just as well. I mean, you don't know every single ingredient, but you know why we made them. You know how we use them because you use them the same way for the most part.
All the time.
And, you know, like I said, for anybody that's out there, I think it's important to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who are willing to help you because, man, GCS doesn't get to where it's at without my wife, without my dad, without people like Chance V, Danielle, Travis, everybody that's helped us.
I think the saying, you know, it takes a village. I don't think that necessarily just applies to a family.
Yeah.
In a way, this is a family.
For sure.
But, yeah, definitely, man. The more the merrier.
For sure. And it's just been really cool to see people that care for something just as much as you do that you nurtured and you brought up. It's like it was a baby.
Right.
Now it's like an adolescent.
Right.
Almost to its teenage years.
About to get that driver's license.
Yeah, to where, you know, the thing where I feel like GCS is right now is I do feel it's like right before a teenager. Mm-hmm. Things are going really good. They're in a really cool stage, but I just know that things are going to get more difficult because more eyes are on us. There's more expectation to do good when we go competitions. The next product cannot be mediocre.
Right.
You know, it's just there's a lot to it, but one more time I'll say it, at its core, this is who we are. I mean, that's why I told you I was like, man, we're just gonna talk. That's all we're gonna do.
No
like
script or no pre-plan going on over here. This is just off the dome. I mean, we're just literally talking about stuff that we do. Like, so for example, tomorrow we're gonna wake up. We're gonna head over to Tuttle's Meat Market in Rockport, Texas. They just opened a new location, and we're gonna be slanging food over there. So Tuttle's has like sausage, poppers, bacon wrapped, fajita maybe?
Yeah, like fajitas, bacon wrapped, you know, whatever they make. We're just gonna be slanging all that stuff. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be really hot, but we're gonna have a blast. So, as far as where GCS was, right, where it is now, where do you see it going? And then this is not a trick question. You don't have to give me an answer you think that's going to feed my ego or that's going to make me feel happy. But, like, do you see this being something that okay, so I'll put it out there, right? Like, we've had conversations hundreds of, I don't know how many exact times, we've had conversations about our dreams, right? The dream is to, one of these days, walk into an office, coffee pots on, dad's making tacos, probably been there since 5 a.m. because that's what dad does. And we get to work, and we get to work with each other every single day. We know we're going to argue. We know we're going to disagree. We know it's not going to be easy. Right. How much of a possibility do you think it is?
I think it's extremely possible.
Yeah.
Likely, maybe even. I just think it's, as cliche as it sounds, it's only a matter of time. I mean, at this point, snowball effect, whatever you want to call it. I don't see it digressing in any way. Mm-hmm. I think you've developed a good following. People that, like you mentioned, support you. You're in 20-something-ish stores now at this point. A lot of them are great. Shout out Tuttle's once again. We'll be there tomorrow in Rockport. That's going to be a good time. I think it's just a matter of time, man. It's just all these stores have been great, and you have great relationships with them. I think, but once Big Daddy HEB comes knocking,
then
I
definitely won't be mad at that day.
Then what? So I saw the Facebook post earlier in the week. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to give it a peep. Maybe smash that like button on the comment that mentioned HEB. But man, once you land a large retailer like that, I think in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but I think it just takes one.
Yeah.
And then that's really gonna kind of set you over the edge to where, I have a full-time job as well, but at that point, it may be worth the conversation. Hey,
yeah,
what do we do now?
No, I think so. You know this again very well. Like, if you have me as a personal friend on Facebook, I always share these little like rare breed. So I follow this thing called Rare Breed. You see it, right?
Yeah,
so
the anime memes. I give them crap. Keeping it PG for the kids listening or watching on YouTube. I give them crap on it. It is what it is. Obviously, my man is into anime. I myself, grew up with Dragon Ball and Pokemon. We won't get too far off topic, but
yeah,
I think the message, despite the animated character falling off a cliff, drawing his sword at 300 miles an hour, that is cool. But the message is is what's really probably most important.
Yeah, and I think that the reason I kind of bring that up is because, those are like the things I truly believe in, right? So, for example, if a big retailer does come along, man, it might be that thing that pushes you to finally take that leap of faith.
Right.
Because you have to. I mean, what do you do when they say, hey, we're going to need you to hand deliver to every local store 3 times a week?
You damn sure can't tell them no at that point, because then all these years, this is literally what you guys have worked for. So,
you maybe just kill a relationship right there.
Absolutely.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know for sure, but either way, I definitely I agree with you with what you're saying. I think that it's a matter of time, and I think we just need to keep doing what we're doing. But I think the biggest thing for me is that we remain who we are.
Right.
I'm not saying like don't get cocky, don't do this, don't do that. It's good to have confidence in yourself.
Definitely.
Keep it low key. Me and you we're really cocky to each other.
Right.
But it's just like we're great friends. We talk a lot of trash. Like, it doesn't matter if things are going good for each other, man. We're pretty hard on each other.
Yeah,
still.
It's not a lot of compliments in the text thread going in between Alonzo and I. It's a lot of hate, but it comes from the right place though.
Yeah, I mean it's jokes, right? We've had a lot of very solid conversations, and we know, and shoot, every single day there's probably 4 people that I tell I love every day. Mm-hmm. My dad, my wife, my mom, and you. Right. So that's just true. But we talk a lot of crap. So it's like I said, I share my funny cheesy memes, and I get a text like, "Wow, bro!"
Wow.
Or like what
the hell is that? I'm not like the biggest anime fan, like I said, but like I never even heard of this one. I mean, maybe I have. I just don't know the characters. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but I love your perspective of where it was, where it's going, and that you believe in it too. So GCS is obviously a huge part of my life. It's a part of your life as well. But I did also want to, and you kind of sort of brought it up. I did want people to know a little bit about like who you are. So you brought up anime, you brought up Pokemon a little bit like that. So I mean, on a personal level, and don't forget, Chance also loves to grill. He loves to grill. He loves to smoke. So like, what types of things are you into on a personal level? Let the people know who you are.
Well, a little bit about my background, I guess. When me and Alonzo, we went to the same high school. He graduated 2 years before I did here in Portland, Texas. I played football. I made good grades. I earned a scholarship. I played college football for a few years at a small Division I program, and that was a good time. Bounced around, played some arena football.
Tell them how tall you are.
Oh, I'm 6'8".
At your peak, how much did you weigh? Like when you were in tip top physical.
When I came out of like high school or like my freshman year in college.
Like freshman year in college, where you have that picture where your fingers are broken but you're still playing.
Oh yeah.
Like definitely. What did you weigh there?
I about floated. I played anywhere between 305 to maybe 320.
But your 305 looked cock diesel.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I mean, 305 was like my 305. You're like, dang, bro, you need to chill.
Well, it's man, a lot of people, I still keep up with local high school sports. I obviously love football. I do like basketball as well. But man, those college workouts, dude, I don't think a lot of people really realize what you really put your body through.
Yeah.
So
no, you've told me stories. You told me stories about. So Chance has told me a story about how he pulled his glove off one time and his finger literally fell over, and then
that sucks.
What after that? What lecture did you get from your coach?
So that was right after our last fall scrimmage. So basically, you have your 2-a-days or camp going into the regular season, and this was right before, I believe, the last scrimmage or right after. It was in a practice. We were doing one-on-one. So obviously I was 6'8", 320. So I played offensive tackle. I could play a little guard as well, but we were doing one-on-ones. So basically the defensive lineman is trying to pass rush and get to the quarterback in layman's terms. And my pinky finger got caught in the defender's face mask. And, if you watch football, they're doing all this with their head, trying to put a move on you. And, it snapped in half. And I didn't feel it the first rep because you go 2 reps in a row. And then after the second rep, I had a glove on, but I can kind of feel it tingling a little bit. And then I pulled it off. And like you said, it fell over like at a perfect 90-degree angle. And I just turned and looked at my coach, and he just shook his head. So they taped it up, and after, practice, you kind of have a little huddle real quick with your position group. So for me, it was with the offensive lineman, and that's when our offensive line coach gave us the spiel of the difference between pain and weakness. And I get it,
Oh, no, I think pain and injury.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. My apologies, but
no, you're good. But like, because basically, like, hey, you're not injured. That's just painful.
Exactly. Yeah, you're expected to play with a broken finger, dude. 100%. So we're going to put some tape on it and some other colorful words. Yeah, he was a great coach, though. Awesome coach. Definitely made me a lot better of a player.
Yeah.
But definitely. So that was the week before we played at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And as a freshman, when I came in, I was kind of competing for the starting job to a degree. I started a few games that season, but did play mostly a backup role.
Yeah.
Special teams and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty much expected to play. So it is what it is.
That's cool. So yeah, I mean that's a little bit of a more personal level to Chance. So I mean that's in the past, right? That was college. Now, of course, we both have day jobs. We won't necessarily go. I try not to bring up my company or anything, just for our own protection. I guess I don't know, but
probably for most listeners, I would imagine it's boring.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like you, what is your job title again? Like your environmental
coordinator.
Yeah. So Chance does environmental,
Exciting.
and I do IT support.
Right.
So yeah, we both work at chemical plants, and down where we live,
right. A lot of men do.
Yeah, that's just
and women.
Well, yeah, it's just kind of I feel like you either do that or oil around here.
Right. It's I don't want to, like you said, go into it too much, but I guess in terms of earnings, it's a good opportunity. So obviously it's attractive to a lot of people.
I mean, that's probably really where you make your money around here. Right. Where we live in South Texas, I mean, we're right next to the Gulf. There's port. The port is here, and yeah, it just kind of makes sense for what we do.
Right.
I went to school for IT support. You went to school for like academics and coaching and stuff like that.
Yeah, they kind of, when you're unless you're really kind of gung ho on engineering or something really particular, they kind of just lump you into, hey, just go be a coach.
Yeah, yeah,
it's pretty easy classes. So respectfully,
yeah, no, I mean, but yeah, so that's that's where you're at now. But you have, in my opinion, I mean, I liked kind of learning about who you were, right? So, you're not necessarily from here, though.
Yeah, no, we bounced around a lot when I was younger. I was born in Kingwood, so if you're not familiar with Texas geography, that's kind of the north side of Houston. We've lived in San Angelo, spent a couple of years out there. We lived in Iowa for maybe a year, I believe. Back to Houston, moved to Fort Worth. I lived there in my elementary years, and then in the 6th grade, I believe, we moved down here.
Yeah, and then you've been in the area since then.
Yep.
In the area since then, and I mean this is pretty much where our roots are. So Gulf Coast smoke. That's where we are. We're on the Gulf Coast. We're closer to Mexico. A lot of people actually think when they ask me, they're like, "What part of the Gulf Coast you on?" They think like this is the last place they really think of, to be honest.
Really?
Right? Yeah. I mean, I feel like they have every other location except for South Texas next to Mexico. I mean, we're not like. I mean, we're close, but we're not like, throw a bait. Yeah. It's we're an hour 45 from Mexico.
That's just one more goal. Put it on the map.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's just a little bit more about Chance V. Like I said, we talked about GCS from start to where we are now, but I wanted to get some specifics down for you. So you have actually been in some of our videos, right? So do you remember all the videos that you've been in?
All of them? I don't think so. Probably in the background of multiple competition videos.
Yeah, you've been in. So, well,
featured in for sure. The one where me and Travis cooked. We actually went to go to the Woodsboro location, Tuttle's, and we picked up some stuff. And it was my friend's cook for me.
Yeah.
And I definitely remember that.
Yeah. So because I guess I do so much camera stuff now, has that become a little more normal to you? Because I do remember in the beginning, like, it was, even for me, for Travis, for you, it was always like, oh, I don't, it's hard to become comfortable with it, right? I mean, but do you feel like that's just pretty normal now? Like, that's kind of just what we do?
Definitely, I would say so. I mean, it's like anything else. You got to learn how to ride a bike, right?
For sure.
So once you do something so many times, I think it just, for lack of better words, it just becomes second nature.
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it.
So I forgot to ask you this a minute ago because we started talking about more personal stuff. So what is your favorite anime?
Oh, without question, Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how I grew up, dude. I used to walk home from school. I think by the time I got home, I maybe had 10 or 15 minutes to rummage my mom's pantry, get some snacks on a plate, sit down.
Favorite Dragon Ball character?
Future Trunks.
That's a great one.
Future Trunks. Yeah, because when he came in, dude, he came in so hard.
Yeah.
And then at that time, Goku just beat Frieza, Super Saiyan. We know how epic that was.
Yeah.
And then that kind of saga kind of came to a close, and then Frieza came back, and here comes Trunks, dude.
Yeah.
And he was like, snapped his fingers. He already had that magic. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty crazy.
I like Future Trunks a lot. I mean, everybody, I think probably that listens to the podcast knows, like, I'm the biggest Vegeta fan.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
That's just like, I got Vegeta canvas right here.
Yeah, put that up.
Vegeta card.
That's pretty sweet, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, so I can't remember the gentleman who did that for me, but I randomly found him on Facebook. And I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I want you to do a Vegeta canvas for me, please. And he was like, how do you want it? I was like, well, I want him doing Final Flash. Right. I want it to be, I mean, you kind of know this, right? Like, I like being loud, flashy. So it's really, really sparkly. I'll turn the camera to it one day, not today, but it's really, really sparkly. It's got a lot of glitter in the background. It pops really hard.
Maybe you can pull up a picture in the.
Yeah, and it's
sweet, man.
Yeah, that's a sweet just an absolutely amazing piece. I'll keep that one forever and ever. So that's your Dragon Ball, Future Trunks.
For sure.
Okay, so we also talked about Pokemon. You guys if you guys watch the podcast, you literally see Pokemon stuff behind me.
Right. And
if you look behind Chance, you see a bunch of Pokemon stuff. And the craziest part is this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is not even anywhere near what we have.
Right.
We've got boxes and boxes and binders and stuff everywhere, unbroken stuff. And we're just really into it. Like, I always tell the story why I love Pokemon so much is because I literally remember when it came out.
Oh, definitely.
And I remember there was a Hallmark here in Portland. It was actually over there right next to where the Chinese buffet is. It was a Hallmark. And I remember Fridays after school, my mom would take me to go get a Happy Meal, and we would go get 2 packs of cards. They were the first editions, and I'll never forget the smell of the cards.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the same smell that they have right now.
Right.
It's
that
just
fresh cardboard, dude.
It's that fresh cardboard. it's just something that I'll love forever.
Right.
And I love that my kids are into it now. My kids open so many packs. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's probably, no, it's not probably. It's ridiculous how many you open.
No, let's not go that far.
Yeah, we're going to go that far. We know it is, but hey, it's what we do.
Yeah, it's just same thing for me. I mean, we're roughly the same age, just a couple years apart. So I had the Game Boy Color. I was buying packs. I used to take my bicycle. My mom would give me $5 or whatever back in the day, and I could just ride my bicycle to a local card shop.
Yeah.
Get one pack, and I would ride it home and open it at the house.
Yeah. But, so favorite Pokemon?
Blastoise.
Punk.
He's the best, bro. Literally, Charizard is weak against Blastoise, bro.
I understand that, but what? Okay.
What about him? Because I had Pokemon Blue.
No, what would you say is the most popular Pokemon of all time?
Charizard.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
doesn't make him the best.
Then the whole world agrees with me.
I mean, you could say that, but I mean, it almost sounds a little bandwagon.
It doesn't, because whenever you start from the beginning, that's not bandwagon.
I mean, that's cool, but
well, you know what? And I would actually maybe argue with you if I'm being real. Pikachu.
Oh well, yeah. He's way
universally.
Way up there.
Yeah, universally might be more popular.
Probably the most, actually.
It's probably literally Pikachu, Charizard, Blastoise.
I don't know if Blastoise is top 3.
You don't think?
I think Eevee or something's up there.
I would put Mewtwo above Eevee.
I mean, so there you go. I mean, I don't know. What I do think is interesting, though, is
I think it's also... I mean, here's the thing. I've said this about barbecue, right? Like, barbecue flavor is subjective. Right. Well, so is your taste in Pokemon, right?
Right, definitely.
The
water turtle absolutely destroys Fire Dragon in any 1v1. So that's my baseline for it. But yeah, he's the best. So.
Yeah, well, to you.
Correct.
So that's
to a lot of other people.
That's an incorrect statement, but it's okay. I did want to bring it up again because I just wanted the people to know a little bit more about you. So we obviously do have a lot in common. I've been trying to get you to watch more anime, and you never do. I told you to watch Demon Slayer, and you watched
that on Netflix.
Yeah, it is.
See,
you did watch Hunter x Hunter, and you liked Hunter x Hunter.
I did, but in between that time, and Hunter x Hunter was okay. I think there was a couple of good scenes. I think the action was just so limited, and maybe that's just kind of what I like, I guess.
Yeah.
Is more, but Dragon Ball is the same way, to be fair. But
yeah, but Dragon Ball, I mean, they do, the fight is built up for like 14 episodes,
dude,
and then
it definitely used to be,
and then you get 4 minutes, but that 4 minutes is
lit.
Like, yeah,
it's pretty lit.
It's not pretty.
It's pretty lit.
It's up there, bro.
I don't know.
The fights are really, really hard to beat when it comes to anything Dragon Ball related. And if I had to give you my top of all time too, yes, it's obviously the Dragon Ball.
It's got to be.
Well, like we said, it's what we grew up watching.
Right.
Correct. So like even for example, you guys, I may need to do a tour of this room one day just to kind of show a little bit more of what we got going on here. But like, I like One Punch Man. I like Hunter x Hunter. Demon Slayer I love. Kaiju number 8 I love. Dragon Ball, of course.
Barbecue trophies.
Yeah, barbecue trophies. We have a bunch of Pokemon stuff, like a bunch. San Antonio Spurs stuff. So yeah, and this, we definitely need to do a tour in here one day because we do have some pretty cool stuff, I guess. I mean, just stuff we've collected over the years. It's not, it's has nothing to do with value. It's more like
what you like.
Yeah.
That's how I am too. That's how I look at it too. I try.
Yeah, there's definitely like you have a lot of valuable stuff, but so do we, but
I don't plan on selling it.
Yeah.
So, cuz that's kind of what brought me back into it was we've been friends for 7-ish, 8 maybe almost years now.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first started hanging out, we actually met through gaming.
Yeah.
So
through Fart Night.
Fart Night, yeah, that is correct. And I came in here into your office game space at the time, and you had Pokemon cards. And I just kind of picked them up and started looking through them, and I was like, man, I wish I still had mine from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Pawned them off at a garage sale, bro. I don't think I had anything super crazy, but like $25 for my whole binder. Got absolutely shafted, but it is what it is. So I kind of got back into it, and but yeah, I have no intention to sell.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any point. Because we're chasers. We chase.
Right.
There's a chase card in every new set. Mm-hmm. For the most part, we're both chasing that card.
Right.
That's just the way it is. Now, the thing that it stinks a little bit for me because it's a lot harder for me, physically me, to chase the card. Let's just say I buy 15 packs.
Right.
I opened 0 of those 15.
Oh, the kids are ripping them.
Yeah, the kids are ripping them.
Oh yeah, savages.
And then, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna buy 5 extra for me because then they're gonna want them.
Right.
So it's like my kid.
You gotta like sneak into the bathroom or something.
Well, I'm like kind of like poking over their head. I'm like, oh, it looks like you got a nice one back there. Be real careful, you know.
Oh
like,
yeah,
and I got like
Junior's
a sleeve.
got Cheetos on his fingers.
Dude. I tell them, I'm like, wash your hands before. I'm like, go get the sleeves. Be ready.
Oh, definitely.
Like, just in case. And if like Alonso pulls one, I'm like, don't move. I grab it, put it in. I'm like,
freeze.
All right, there you go. Now you can look at it. Now you can show your mom or whatever. Yeah, it's just crazy cool. But again, a lot in common here. So those are things that I really wanted to hit on because we are with each other quite a bit. We talk every single day for most of the day, unless we're busy at work, which happens. And it happens. So as of recently, we've actually had some pretty cool stuff we were able to do together in regards to Gulf Coast Smoke. And you guys have actually seen this on camera. So about a month and a half ago, I guess, maybe 2 months now?
Yeah, going on 2 months. I was actually, when I was coming down, I left my house this morning and drove down here. I was literally thinking about that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, first I thought it was, damn, it's hot. And then second, I was thinking, dude, that was over 2 months ago. I don't know why. I was I knew I was thinking about coming down here to do this pod.
August
9th?
Man, well, but when did we go?
It was late May.
Was it?
Wasn't it? Man. Yeah, it was late May.
Wow.
And the only reason I remember that was because the school year was ending, so Danielle was wrapped up or very close to be wrapping up with the school year.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to just quick second on the – you're right, bro.
I think it was like the 28th maybe.
Yep, it literally was. So on June 1st is when we took all those pictures of ourselves at the – oh, no, I'm sorry. Those are just computer saved. That's why they're there. Let's see here real quick. Let's see. No, it was June 1st. Yeah.
Okay.
June 1st is when we were there.
So we probably drove up, what?
It's been just over 2 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Time has absolutely flown by.
Flown by. So anyway, let's get to what we're kind of talking about, right? So you and I drove to Hernando, Mississippi from Portland to Victoria and Victoria there.
Correct.
We drove 12 hours to Hernando, Mississippi to go hang out with Malcolm Reed, How to Barbecue Right. They put us up in a hotel. Truly one of the best weekends I've ever experienced, not only in my life, but in GCS's history.
Right.
From your point of view, I mean, how was the trip?
Oh, man. Absolutely first class.
Yeah.
So they, like you said, man, they put us up in a nice hotel. They chartered us, pulled up in some sweet Sprinters with the
some
leather
Mercedes
and the lights
Sprinters.
and the music. Didn't have to worry about driving. A lot of beverages were being enjoyed. Food, I couldn't even keep up with how much stuff they were throwing at us, from chicharrones to fajitas, burnt brisket burn-ins, a whole hog, ribs. I could literally go on. I mean, I think as soon as we arrived, Shell was mixing Bloody Marys.
Yeah, so I mean, but think about even when we got there Friday,
right,
when we showed up to the shop. Like, how was that? Because I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast here, but like, we actually got we don't have to go into extreme crazy detail, but we actually got like a look into How to Barbecue Right, like
right,
how they run their business to an extent,
right,
what they think about video content creation, how they go about these things. I mean, what did you? Okay, and first off, I have to ask you this because, I'm curious to hear your answer, and then I'll tell you what I thought the first time. What do you think of like their headquarters?
Amazing. I know you had been there before. Obviously, we went recently, and you had kind of mentioned, like, dude, when you need to check it out. Like, when you go, you'll see all these office spaces. They have a conference room. They have a kitchenette in the back. Man, it's just kind of motivating.
100%.
You know what I mean? And so, if this is where we want to head, you know, this is kind of like they're kind of laying the footprint a little bit, and I think that's kind of why you and even myself refer to Malcolm as the GOAT of YouTube, but take it to the business side, you know, physical location, right?
Yeah.
You have everything. What don't you have? You have a storefront, you have office spaces, then this is all kind of separated. So the store is obviously in the front, Then you have office spaces where they do their pod. Other offices for who knows what, probably doing the business invoicing and stuff.
Do you remember we actually saw their product room?
Oh, yeah.
And we saw GCS products in there.
Damn straight.
And that was like super
cool. That is so cool.
I'm not going to lie. That was probably one of my favorite moments of the whole trip because, so I don't know if I talked about this on the episode where we went into that trip really, really heavily. But Chance and I were hanging out with Tyler. Shout out to Tyler. Yep. And he gave us just a little quick rundown of the office space and kind of showed us where his office was, where the social media people were, where marketing was. Like, How to Barbecue Right has a team.
A squad.
Yes, like straight up. This is a team, and it is very impressive.
Yeah.
So they have a room where they've set it up to take pictures for products that they're going to sell on their website.
That's how you know it's crazy. When you have an office space that's 12 by 10, 12 by 12, a decent sized room to just take pictures for products for your online shop.
Yeah. And we were very, very grateful to see
Gulf Coast Smoke, Southern Hospitality. I believe that base was also there, maybe even Southern Bell.
Yeah. So we were able to see our products in that little office.
Yep.
And it doesn't make you feel like you've made it at all, but it is a very humbling thing to see because I do have so much respect for what Malcolm and Rochelle are doing.
Absolutely.
I just there's really nothing else to say. Whenever I think about what I want to say about them, not to sound cheesy, I almost am speechless. Not just because everything they're doing, I think they're just doing it the right way.
Definitely.
And they just are so amazing. So I agree with you. Seeing the space, it's like the most motivating thing ever. It's like, so you're telling me creating videos online and selling spices to the world can get you this, right?
Pretty much.
And it is like, okay, obviously, like, we understand it's not just like, oh, let me take a video on my phone. Like, they're taking it very seriously.
A lot of hard work.
It's not just, oh, let me put out whatever spice. There's so much that goes into it. Like I said, they have a team. It is an extremely motivating thing. So that was night one. And then, like you were just talking about a little bit ago, we go into day two. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got to go hang out at the location that Malcolm literally films all his videos at. I mean, what was that like for you from your point of view? Number one, I mean, how else do I say this? Who would have ever thought we would have been able to do that?
Absolutely incredible, man. I remember it's been a while now, but when I guess Malcolm, or I don't know if it was maybe Shell that reached out to you initially, or maybe it was Tyler, I'm not sure how that relationship kind of started, but
you're talking about like in the very beginning to be an ambassador? Yeah, so Tyler was the first one to reach out to me initially.
Super cool dude, man. Shout out Tyler. But who would have thought, man?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? And
I mean, who would have thought we would even gotten to the point to where they reached out?
Absolutely.
Like,
and then to invite us to essentially their home.
Yes.
And see everything up close, it was truly amazing, awesome weekend.
What was the smokehouse like?
Wasn't it air conditioned,
dude? So first things first. The smokehouse is, Malcolm actually just put a video out on this yesterday or the day before where he did a tour of his smokehouse.
Right.
And so I feel a lot more comfortable talking about it now because he put it out there.
Right.
Dude, you can literally live there.
Oh yeah.
Like you can.
Oh, dude, it's incredible. So the smokehouse is kind of like one section of it. They have you could kind of like a living room type of area where there's like a full kitchen, huge whiskey bar, TV, nice furniture. And then there was I think also a guest bedroom out there.
I think there was two. I could be wrong.
There may have been at least one. And then even their shower. They had a beautiful bathroom in there. It's just like, and by the way, for the listeners and the watchers, this was a deer camp house. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, and it was nicer than my house.
Respectfully, yes, it was.
Yeah. But hey, it's motivating. It gives us something to push for. We've always said this and we'll continue to say this. We don't want to be like anybody. We want to be the best version of us.
Right.
But that 100% does bring
a little spark.
Yeah, the spark. This is possible. Got to work hard because they even talked about it, man. They're like, man, there was days we woke up sick. Doesn't matter. We still got to go.
Yep.
There was days we woke up, we didn't want to do anything. Doesn't matter. We still got to go. We still got to do this. And that's why I respect them so much. And that trip was just truly incredible.
Definitely. Man, great people too, man. That's what probably stood out to me the most about everything was when I've watched their YouTube videos before Gulf Coast Smoke just because when I was, cooking and trying different things and whatnot. But when you meet people, and I don't know if they had referred to themselves as celebrities necessarily. I think they're maybe a little too humble.
They're for sure. I think,
but they definitely are. For
sure.
They're definitely, when you're on shelves in Walmarts and academies all over the country, plus who knows how many other stores. In my opinion, they're on celebrity status level, but to see how cool and down to earth they both were, I think that was for sure the highlight, I would say, for me.
It's one of those things where you never really 100% know, I guess, like how your relationship is going to build with somebody. By the end of that trip, I'm sure everybody felt the same way. I truly felt like they were my friends.
Right.
Truly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I walked away, like, gave Rochelle a hug.
Right.
Like, thank you for everything. Truly appreciate you. All that, like, just nothing but good things to say about him.
Well, I told Malcolm, because he's a big Ole Miss guy. I believe he graduated from there, or at least attended. And I told him, I said, hey, coming out of high school, Ole Miss recruited me. I told him that, so hopefully he would adopt me.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know. You might not even fit on that guest house bed. You might be too tall for it.
I'll make it work.
Yeah. You just feet hanging off a couple feet.
Dude, my feet hang off my king size bed.
Are you serious?
Yep. I better get in there early and lay at a angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Actually, I don't know why I never thought of that.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be all right.
It's gonna have to be.
It's gonna have to be. So, you got to experience that trip, and we both agree it was incredible. Mm-hmm. There's nothing we would change about that weekend. The only thing I hope is we get to do it again one day.
I think that's for sure on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's on the table. I don't think it's 100 million% you're gonna do it, but I think it's definitely on the table.
Definitely.
So kind of starting to wrap things up. Now that we're here, now that we're putting out consistent videos, lots of podcasts, do you remember or do you know off the top of your head what's your favorite video that we've ever put out?
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one, I know.
Does it have to be? Can it be a short?
Yeah, it can be whatever.
I don't know, man. That's a tough question. There's a lot of them I really like. I would say the one that comes to mind the quickest, because I didn't get to eat it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, was that, and I don't remember if you made a long form version of it. I think you did.
Mm-hmm.
Was the brisket sandwich.
Yeah.
With sausage and the barbecue sauce and the onion and the pickle.
The one that we won the contest.
That looks so damn good, dude.
Yeah. So the poor boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we did. So funny story about that. You know this story. I don't think I've ever told this to the listeners.
Right.
That was actually a contest.
Indeed.
That was a contest for How to Barbecue Right.
That's right. They
sent us an email saying, hey, we're going to have a Between the Buns contest between all of our ambassadors. Give us your best sandwich. Right. Anything or anything between the buns.
Right.
Anything. It could have been a hot dog. It could have been a sandwich like we made. It could have been
who knows?
Whatever.
Right.
Anything between the buns. Be creative. First thing that came to my mind, Max Barbecue in Gregory, Texas. Back in the day, to me, there was nothing like a poor boy from Max Barbecue.
Definitely.
Nothing. Now, I don't know how I would feel about that sandwich now because we've cooked so much barbecue, and I feel like we've gotten pretty good at this.
Right.
I don't know how I'd feel about it now, but if I had to make an educated guess, I think it would still bang hard.
Oh, in a pinch, dude.
I really think it would bang hard.
Well, there's nothing you can't be mad at not smoking a brisket for 14, 16 hours and it's 100 plus degrees outside.
Yeah.
We can just go pick one up.
100%. And so we made a poor boy. So we smoked a brisket on the video on our Weber Smoky Mountain. Mm-hmm. It came out just so perfectly. It was just it was a banging brisket. We chopped some of that exact brisket up, mixed barbecue sauce with it, put it as a base, put some smoked sausage over top, put a sliced brisket over top, pickles, onions, more barbecue sauce, cut it in half, ate it. And we ended up winning the Between the Buns contest between all the How to Barbecue Right ambassadors.
That sounds so good. Right now, I think we need to put that link down in the comments.
For sure.
Dude, that man, dude. You want a brisket sandwich with that? I believe you used jalapeno cheddar sausage.
I did.
Forget about it, son.
Yeah, it was great. It was delicious, and so we ended up winning that contest with that sandwich, and it was really, it was really cool to be able to win that contest between the ambassador. So many, and we met them. Yes. So many great creators, so many people that cook amazing looking food and make amazing videos. Again, a very humbling experience to be able to win that contest through How to Barbecue Right. So we will put a link in the description for you guys to be able to go watch that video back if you are maybe new to the channel.
Definitely.
There might be
very
people
possible.
that are...
It's been, what, almost 2 years? A year and a half?
Maybe.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But yeah, we'll put it down there just in case anybody's new and they're listening for the very first time. So if you are listening for the first time, obviously go ahead and subscribe and do all that good stuff for the channel right now. So my next question, and we're getting towards the end, but what was your favorite barbecue competition that you ever went to with us? So you have been there for multiple wins.
Right.
So if I had to make an assumption, it'd be one of those wins.
Man.
But I'm curious.
Oh, selfishly, I'm trying to think when it wasn't oppressively hot outside. But I don't think, man, it's been a long time. I don't remember if we've ever done a cool weather one. Maybe. We probably have. It doesn't seem like it, though. It seems like they're all extremely hot, but we make it. Favorite
Somehow.
one. I don't know if I have a favorite one. I mean, it's easy to say one that you GC'd. Maybe the first time I was there when you GC'd. I don't remember if that was, I don't think it was, it definitely wasn't Refugio. Aransas. That's probably up there for me. But probably in terms of just location, I would say the Lost Lagoon in Campo.
Awesome.
That's such a cool location, especially for you, who your wife and yourself, you bring the kids. It's scorching hot, of course, but damn, you got this pool and all this other cool stuff to do. That arcade. It was that was a really neat setup.
Yeah, no, for sure. I figured you would say either Aransas or Refugio, but again, I'm just curious. So my last question that I have, out of all of our seasonings, which one's your favorite?
That's tough. I would probably have to say I've definitely used Trifecta a lot lately.
Yeah.
I need to re-up on my shakers, pretty much of everything. But I would say probably Southern Belle. Yeah. I would just say I'm a big beef guy. I've been eating a lot of steak lately, steak and eggs and things like that.
Carnivore? Is that what you're kind of doing?
Somewhat, yeah. I'll mix in a little bit of carbs, but not very much. Just no bread or pizza and burgers and things that big dudes like. Yeah, but,
us big backs.
That's right. Well, speak for yourself now.
Speak for yourself now. I'm losing weight, baby.
Probably so. Yeah, I'm down 5 pounds. I'm completely different. I got a book coming out. But no, probably Southern Belle.
Health book, diet book, all that?
Diet book, just a kind of an inside my mind perspective of what it really takes to lose 5 pounds in, let's say, 4 days. So,
be on the lookout for that. Definitely. So Southern Belle. Sorry, I know we're kind of getting off topic. Right. Southern Belle because you cook a lot of beef.
I do, and I think. And to be fair, I really do like them all. I know that sounds corny, right? I'll use corny because you use cheesy, but I use them all a lot. I maybe use that base just as much because I use it on vegetables a lot. It's kind of like my salt and pepper replacement, basically. It has a little more flavor to it, obviously, but I would still probably say Southern Belle still because man, you put that on some beef ribs, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, you can't lose.
It's my favorite
for sure, and. Man, for me, it's hard to say because, man, for me, the first is always so special.
Oh, yeah.
Southern hospitality means
everyone's first time.
It means, it means so much to me. It really does. Like, do you remember when we used to have it in bags? Yes. And we would like put it. We were cooking in the front yard, and I would make it, or I would make barbecue with it. And I remember there was even times where people were like, I don't know if I like that one. Yeah. I don't know if I like this one. Yep. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't know. Yep. We went through so many stages to get there.
Oh, for sure.
And so having Southern hospitality in general is like.
And I know you touched on it this morning. I listened to the previous podcast episode about how long Trifecta's been in development.
It's been a long time.
A long time. I used, and it like you mentioned, you had tweaked it who knows how many times. I think the color stayed the same. I think, and it's been so long, the flavor could have changed a bit, and I probably wouldn't remember exactly. But it wasn't this past Thanksgiving. It was a Thanksgiving before that.
It's been a long time,
I had
dude.
some in a mason jar, and that's what I dry brined my turkey a little bit with it, and then I went back over it the next day when I smoked it. Season it.
And so that's, again, a testament to how long we've been messing with
and
this.
And that's what, this don't happen overnight. That is for sure.
It takes a long time. And, obviously, like, I've had so many people recently message me, dude, Trifecta is my favorite. I love it. And it's like, dude, I don't disagree with you guys at all. Right. It's just hard for me to pick a favorite. I mean, if I had to pick one, it'd just maybe have to be Southern Hospitality just for what it is. Yeah. The first one, what really brought us to even having the fifth one.
Right.
Without the first one, we don't get Trifecta.
Definitely. So, also a great name.
Yeah, I mean, and that's shout out to Sabrina on that.
That's a great name.
That's shout out to Sabrina on that name. Absolutely. I love that name so much. I love all the names that we've come up with so far, and it's, shoot, those take almost just as long as making the dang seasoning because you want to have the right name for, what you're trying to put out there to the world. But Southern Belle, absolutely great answer. We're coming up on about an hour. Doesn't feel like it, right?
Not at all.
That's what I'm saying. I told you before, so you were, I think, a little bit nervous, right?
That was just more that BS back and forth we be doing.
But also, you can't even tell the cameras are on.
Oh, absolutely not.
Once you start talking and it's just like, I'm just having a conversation with my buddy.
Right.
That's literally all that it is. So it's really easy for us to talk. We could probably we could keep talking for sure with ease. But we do like to keep these episodes around an hour. And last thoughts for you at all?
Oh, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
This is pretty fun.
Yeah. So
I see why you and your wife like doing it. It's fun.
Because like I've always said, nobody's stopping us.
Right.
Nobody's getting in our way. We're just having a conversation.
Absolutely.
And we can have a conversation about whatever we want. Mm-hmm. So who's your favorite football team?
Dallas Cowboys.
Are they going to win it all this year?
Definitely not.
At least you're realistic.
I have to be.
Who's your favorite basketball team?
Probably the Mavericks, because when I grew up in Fort
Worth.
That's an unfortunate opinion of yours.
Trash.
I guess we're not going to talk about the Spurs season last year, huh?
What do you mean? It doesn't matter. Oh, the only thing that matters is who won in the end, bro.
I can't get down with Jason Tatum or the Celtics.
No.
I can't get down. I don't give them no love. That dude did so much cornball behavior after the fact. You cannot come back. You're not beating those allegations, bro. He wants to be Kobe so bad.
I absolutely do not like Jason Tatum. I do not like that. I wish the Celtics didn't win. Just straight up. 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm also very glad that the Mavericks didn't win.
That's a crazy take, but I'm glad we're wrapping this up, dude.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if we want to talk about the past, how many championships do the Mavericks have?
One.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, at least they won in my lifetime. The Cowboys it's like
what was it, 96 or something like that?
Something like that. I was an infant. I was like 5, I guess. But
yeah.
It is what it is. I'm not too hopeful, unfortunately.
Well, it'll be all good. So anything else before we wrap this up?
Man, like and subscribe to the YouTube. Check out the video below with the beef sandwich with the brisket and all that good stuff. And see you on the next one.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested, like you have social media, I could put your Twitter in there and stuff, so people can talk to you and kind of see what you're about and stuff like that. You're also on Facebook, Chance Vernon. Right. You're friends with a lot of the barbecue people now that you've met through this whole journey that we've had, and you've been involved in all this stuff. So if you guys want to connect with Chance, I'll put his social media stuff below. Appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I really think it's cool for people to see where we started, where we're at, and hopefully you guys got a little bit of that from this episode. If you didn't, let me know in the comments, what questions do you have? I'll have Chance maybe look over the comments if there's any extras that you guys have for him, any extra questions. Maybe he can answer them in the comments. We'll see.
Definitely.
But man, appreciate you coming on. It was a great episode. Like I said, very, very easy to do. Definitely. Just get in front of the cameras, talk about life, talk about what we got going on. And man, it's all love all day. So appreciate you coming on. Thank you for everybody that's watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you're new, make sure to share this with somebody who likes barbecue, somebody who may enjoy our podcast as well. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.